crois-moi, depuis le temps que je traîne, j'en ai vu pousser terre en gaine de Macao à la barade. Ça fait une paye que je me balade. Le temps qui passe a fait aux vieux une bande autour des yeux. Il y a le temps qui mouille dehors dans la toiture, c'est le vent du nord. Les yeux des filles belles à aimer et la chanson qui fait pleurer. Et même si t'as pas navigué, t'as le droit de boire avec les autres. T'es quand même un frère de la côte et t'as même le droit de lâcher. Mon petit garçon, mais dans ta tête y a des chansons qui font la fête. Et crois-moi, depuis le temps que je traîne, j'en ai vu pousser terre en gaine de Macao à la Barbade. Ça fait une paye que je me balade. Et le temps qui passe a fait aux vieux une broderie autour des yeux. Et quand on sera saoulé comme des bourriques, on ira chanter sur les quais en rêvant aux filles du Mexique et les chants des navires. Les grillés allent sur la colline envoyés quand la boiteuse va trop marcher. Quand on irait au cabestan et toutes ces belles chansons d'antan. Mon petit garçon, mais dans ta tête y a des chansons qui font la fête. Et crois-moi, depuis le temps que je traîne, j'en ai vu pousser terre en gaine de Macao à la Barbade. Ça fait une paye que je me balade. Et le temps qui passe a fait aux vieux une broderie autour des yeux. Mais dans ta tête, y a des chansons qui font la fête. Et crois-moi, depuis le temps que je traîne, j'en ai vu pousser des rengaines de Macao à la Barbade. Ça fait une paye que je me balade. Et le temps qui passe a fait aux vieux une bordéline autour des yeux. Mon petit garçon, mais dans ta tête, y a des chansons qui font la fête. Et crois-moi, depuis le temps que je traîne, j'en ai vu pousser des rengaines de Macao à la Barbade. Ça fait une paye que je me balade. Et le temps qui passe a fait aux vieux une bordéline autour des yeux. Mais dans ta tête, y a des chansons qui font la fête. Et crois-moi, depuis le temps que je traîne, j'en ai vu pousser des rengaines de Macao à la Barbade. Ça fait une paye que je me balade. Et le temps qui passe a fait aux vieux une bordéline autour des yeux. Mon petit garçon, mais dans ta tête, y a des chansons qui font la fête. Et crois-moi que ça fait à mon vieux une bordée de rire autour des yeux. J'ai fait pas mal d'escale avec de jolies filles, matelot à la Black Bull, les loups de Californie. Oh ouais, de tous les filles, j'ai jamais vu de ma vie. Oh, les plus jolies sont celles de New York City. Elles sont intimidées à la trousse, trempées comme un clipper, et rouges comme le lait des mousses, lorsqu'on a bu un verre. Oh oui, de toutes les filles que j'ai jamais vues de ma vie, oh, les plus jolies sont celles de New York City. Le prof matelot qui va traîner au quai de New York City ouvre les yeux très étonnés devant les jolies filles. Oh oui, de toutes les filles que j'ai jamais vues de ma vie, oh, les plus jolies sont celles de New York City. Elles ont de sacrées têtes de roche à fleurs en leur corsage. Je peux vous dire qu'on s'y accroche quand on a fait l'orage. Oh oui, de toutes les filles que j'ai jamais vues de ma vie, oh, les plus jolies sont celles de New York City. J'ai bien connu Cathy Madame qui vit à Little Town, et la fameuse Jenny la blonde, la reine des docks de Londres. Oh oui, de toutes les filles que j'ai jamais vues de ma vie, oh, les plus jolies sont celles de New York City.
Welcome to the Wing Club. Hello. I don't know, we are in the space, we are in France, we are in Maui. Hello, my name is Chris and I am a wing foiler.
My name is Manu, but I'm not a wind foiler.
Ah bah no, why?
No, not yet.
Not yet?
No.
Ah, you're very difficult. Let's put a bit of music before we introduce our guest. Welcome everybody, special episode. Sorry, Manu, wrong music. We are in live duplex. It's 9:45 in Maui. Can you put something more Hawaiian, please?
No problem.
Yeah, something like that. That's cool. But Manu, I don't think that's good enough for tonight. Tonight is episode special Robby Naish.
Yeah,
let's bring a live band, ladies and gentlemen, for tonight.
Oh oui, de toutes les filles que j'ai jamais vues de ma vie, oh, les plus jolies sont celles de New York City. Oh oui, de toutes les filles que j'ai jamais vues de ma vie, oh, les plus jolies sont celles de New York City.
Okay, thank you very much. Romeo in live for the Wing Club. Super stuck with that. Thanks everybody for following us. Thanks for everybody who are helping us. Thanks for all the brands, the guests. And this is episode, what's that? Episode 8, in fact?
8, yeah.
And we should have Robby Naish from Maui in live. Hello, Robby. I cannot hear you. Yes, I can hear you now. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Morning. Good morning. You've
Good
got
morning,
your pirate stuff as well, yeah?
Yeah, I saw you guys dressed up in pirates, and I figured I should pull out some of my skull boards and put some color in the background.
We love colors. Welcome back in France. I know we are everywhere in the world tonight. You've been trying, Robby, to come to the Wing Club for many episodes, but we were very, very busy, and you said you kept asking, and you were right. Now here you are, and we are honored. But Robby, I am not, I think, solid enough to give you a warm welcome. So I have four guests tonight, and I think you can see them now on the screen. I brought the presidents from Pond Break. Do you remember Pond Break, yeah?
Oh, yeah, sure. Right on.
Right on. So let's introduce maybe first Margaret Thatcher. Hello, Margaret. Who is behind this mask? Suspense. Hello, Corinne Migraine, Vice President of Fédération Française de Voile. Hello, Corinne.
I'm very pleased to be here. I'm representing all your fan club from the 80s, I'm afraid. That's really sad. But yeah. Last time I saw you probably was in La Torche in the 80s.
Wow.
Well, I was probably one of the girls sitting on the beach and not going in the sea, which was a very bad idea. And probably that changed the life of many girls who finally decided to go on the sea as well.
And more to come on the sea. Yeah, and more ladies in wing foiling. Thank you so much, Corinne, for introducing the Wing Club. But who is Jimmy Carter then?
I'm not
Jimmy Carter.
I am not.
Can you hear me, Jimmy Carter? Yeah. Oh, Jimmy Carter. Hello, Nicolas Hénard.
I'm not Jimmy Carter. I'm Nicolas Hénard, the president of the French Sailing Association.
Cannot hear you. Can you just start again? I think we are in live, in the place. Incredible to have the president of French Fédération Française de Voile. Is it okay, the sound from north of France? Go, Nicolas.
Yes, it's okay for me. Can you hear me?
There's something going on. It's good. It's good. Welcome back, Mr. President.
Okay. Can you hear me, Major Tom?
I can hear you perfectly. Good to see you, Nicolas.
Yes, so hi, Robby. I'm not Jimmy Carter.
Okay, so I think there's something... okay, yeah, go ahead, yes.
I'm the president of the French Sailing Association. I think I'm roughly your age, but I'm one of your fans. I used to sail with Robert Nagy. Maybe you remember him? Robert.
Yeah, sure.
He was one of your competitors, and I used to sail with him on Tornado class in the 90s. But unfortunately, I did not win my 2 Olympic gold medals with Robert. But he was quite very good on the sailboard. He won 5 times the world championship. You know that.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm very happy to see you. I'm one of your fans.
Thank you so much. Have you met already, Robby and Nicolas? Have you met in the past? Yeah.
I'm not sure, but we have in common Robert Nagy. I believe that Robby knows very well Robert, and I know very well Robert as well.
Okay, so we say hi to Robert Nagy and all the friends from the Tornado and all the friends from Fédération Française de Voile. Who is Lyndon Johnson? So we have a third president. Who could it be? Lyndon Johnson? Please reveal your identity. Incredible! Jacques Lajacom.
Okay, it's a real Linda Johnson.
So you're the fresh
I'm Jacques.
new president from Fédération Française de Surf.
Good evening, Robby. Be glad to be there.
Evening.
You know, I'm just here as a longboarder from the backcountry, and I never did any longboard loop, you know, never. and I'm a real fan, and I just want to say you Anguille et Tori from Biarritz, Basque Country. It's welcome in English.
That's one of my second homes, the Basque Country. I love it there.
Okay. Hope to see you in the waves.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you so much, Jack. That's all the community of surfers, stand-up paddle, prone paddle, bodyboard as well behind that announcement. And the fourth one is Ronald Reagan. And I'm not sure if you've done that sport now, Robby, but who is behind Ronald Reagan? This is our fourth star of this evening.
I'm the last one. It's very hot inside. I'm Patrice Martin. I'm the president of the French Water Ski and Wakeboard Federation. Different sport, but you may know you have a lot of fans and followers here in France with all the community, especially from the wakeboard riders.
Okay, so there's a lot of people now in the... Can you hear us, Patrice? Yeah. Go ahead, Patrice, that's good. So many people.
Oh, yeah. And I just wanted to welcome you in here in France and in Wind Club, and very happy, very proud to be able to talk with you sometime now.
Thank you so much. Really a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you so much, Patrice. Thank you so much, Corinne. Thank you so much, Jack and Nicolas. They represent a lot of people, but again, as they said in their own words, Robby, they are a big fan, like all of us, of you. And wing foiling now is an excuse to welcome you, and it's a very, very good excuse to start this show, the special Robby Naish, and they will be with us with some questions. So, Robby, let's attack. I'm going to introduce my team now. It was your four fans. Peter Ingerstam, are you with us from Sweden?
Yes, I am here. Hello.
Are you as well a fan of Robby Naish, Peter?
Yeah, he was at the first unofficial Swedish Championship 2000 in Sweden, and 2020 we run the official here in Sweden, right where I live. So yeah, of course, it's role model in the surf.
That's good. And we've got, so you are driving the wing.surf with, how many wing foilers are following you today, Peter, for the people who are
on
new?
Instagram is over 15,000 and the community on Facebook is 13,000.
Wow, that's cool. That's super cool. Exciting, like wing foil. From Dublin, we have now Francois in the kitchen. How are you, Francois? You're a pirate as well, yeah?
Oh, sorry. Yes, I am. I am so excited, guys. I am so excited.
But Francois, are you in a caravan or are you the pirate? That was the theme of this evening.
No, I am in my boat on one of the sea. I am floating, drifting around, dreaming of like Robby Naish and this beautiful evening we're gonna have. I don't feel like I'm in a boat. I feel like I'm like in a church. So if you can say, Vincent, maybe a little bit less echo. There's lots of echo from your voice, Christophe. But Robby, welcome to the club tonight, and to everyone watching us. I am the one trying to read all the message and trying to send them to Christophe anyway. So welcome everyone. Welcome to this special wing club. And yes, like every one of us, Robby, you were on the wall of our bedroom, and tonight you're with us. So yes, you changed our life, and I'm extremely happy to spend 1 hour or 2 or 5 tonight with you or this morning, and with this crazy bunch of people. So in Irish, we say not welcome, we say Kia mille folche, which means 100,000 welcome. So 100,000 welcome to you, Robby, and everyone else watching.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Peter, so we start with the top. How many top video do we have this week? Have you done something special? That's our sequence.
I have done some special today, and I will show it now. First of all, 2 years ago, I started the Wing.surf community, and this was my first post. And I think that the wingsurfing and the kite winging has been around for a while, but Robby, you were the guy who started the hype regarding the wingsurf and wingfoil. And you call it wingsurf, and I like that. And from Sweden, I just want to share a short picture from Carl-Henrik, Christine, and Emma. Carl-Henrik, he loves Naish. Everything is by Naish. And just look at the view here, what we do with the wind, with the ice, the speed, the sailing. I think it's just amazing. So that was a hello from Carl-Henrik. And on the 5th place, our most viewed post on Wing.surf, we have Kafa Bo. That's one of your team rider. He's just 9 years old. It's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, the cool thing about you right now is the broad appeal. I mean, obviously, when I started doing it, I could tell that it was going to be appealing to a lot of people. But I had no idea that so many kids were going to get into it so quickly. If you compare it to kiting or windsurfing or even SUP, here on Maui locally, we probably have 20 or 30 kids under 16. And we haven't ever had that in windsurfing or kiting. And it shows a lot of promise for the future of the sport. My daughter, she's 13. She has 4 or 5 friends that are doing it with her as well. And then their parents are doing it and their grandparents are doing it. So the appeal and the broad demographic is pretty awesome. It's great to have kids involved already. And I mean, under 10 years old and they're already jumping and transitioning and pushing the sport forward. It's really good to see for the future of the sport.
Cool. And here is some crazy guy from Denmark. Do you know him? CJ. I don't know what he's doing with the wing and on the ice. It looks pretty crazy. But that's probably one of your team riders in Denmark here also. I think it's sponsored by Red Bull.
Yeah, Casper.
I don't know what he's doing, but looks crazy.
Yeah, I don't know.
And maybe
that's the world.
The
world of social media is doing whatever you can to get people to look at you, which is a little bit strange these days. But whatever it takes, I guess.
Yeah, but that's a pretty cool one. Maybe that's the way we will dance on the waves with our foils in the future, with the wings also. And then on 3rd place, we have one of your friend, Kai Lenny. That was the 3rd most view, and he's riding on the snow here and testing the wings. So a pretty good guy and famous guy too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he just... Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry?
No, all you.
Okay. And on the 2nd place, you know Jeffrey Spencer. They're 2 brothers. Do you know them?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, he's doing a really, really good flip here with his wing. I think it's a really good one. And then the final one is Titoan. And this post I posted, I think it was today or yesterday. And it has just reached over 21,000 reach on the Instagram just within 24 hours. So that's a pretty good one also. And also Christian Pacifico, one Maui day, you know him?
Yeah.
He was riding with the umbrella 2 years ago with the foil board. And that post, I think that one reached 300,000 or 400,000. It was incredible. And he's a really nice guy too. But that was everything from Sweden. A big thanks. And what do you say about those riders, Robby, that you just saw?
Good. I mean, I know all those guys, and again, it's a sport that's growing so fast, and it's awesome to see. You know, both young and old. There's a lot of people pushing the sport, both from the riding standpoint and the technical standpoint, and it's fun to be a part of it.
Yeah.
So, thank you so much from Sweden. Now, we've got so many people as well joining all over the world. You can text us because some people are late in Japan, some people are very early in California, in Hawaii. Sorry, Francois, yeah?
Yeah, you still have a lot of echo. Lots of echo.
Yeah, I have echo, Vincent. Vincent, I have echo, but I'm a pirate, you know.
Vincent is an engineer. He loves being in the church. But we are like with the God. Just one thing about Peter. Peter was showing lots of pictures about snow and ice. Robby, are you missing this part of like, you know, do you have much ice where you are?
Nope. We had a little bit of snow about a month ago at Haleakala up on the volcano. It's been pretty rainy and cold here for Maui, but not enough to go do anything in. And I haven't been traveling. You know, it's because of COVID. It's easy to leave Maui, but it's really difficult to come back. It's a big pain in the ass with tests and quarantines and stuff flying back to Maui. So I know Kai just went for a trip on the mainland. He got some snow time. But I think for me this season, I probably won't get in the snow at all, which is a bummer because the wing looks like it'd be so much fun in the snow. But that's all right. I got water. I got wind. When you're stuck on Maui, you don't complain.
Stuck in Maui, that's good. Okay, intro, because we missed that, guys, with Romeo. We are back now in America, in Hawaii. Let's go for the national anthems. Robby Naish, right now at the Wing Club. We have a queen, we have a princess. We managed to find a princess for the night. Okay, so Robby, if there is any question, feel free to send on the Facebook to follow us. There's going to be a special quiz after. Robby, I sent you a quick email about the surprise for one of your fans later on. Now, can you tell us, Robby, Okipa, Maui, you're from California, then you moved when you were a kid in Hawaii. How was Hawaii when you arrived there, when you were the first one to start wave riding and doing all that stuff in surfing and windsurfing?
Well, I mean, fortunately, I left California when I was too young to remember. So I was raised in Hawaii. I don't remember anything from California. So I moved to Kailua. Fortunately, my dad was a surfer, and he had been coming to Hawaii before I was born and surfing. And he was a high school teacher and took a teaching job and moved the family to Kailua when I was 4 years old. And so I was basically raised at the beach in Kailua. He surfed, and then he was one of the first Hobie sailors on the island. He was a competitive Hobie sailor through the 70s, Hobie 14 and Hobie 16. Won the state championship many times. Won the national championship in 1972. So yeah, I was at the beach every day as a kid, and luckily started windsurfing when I was 11. Just met some windsurfers one day at the beach, and they asked if I wanted to try. I tried. Loved it. It was really hard because I was so small, but at that point I was skimboarding and surfing, and then windsurfing and sailing a bit before that. And fortunately, that kind of just put me on the path that I've been on ever since. I started competing in the windsurfer as an amateur through school, and then I graduated from high school in 1981, and that was the year windsurfing turned professional.
How long did you stay amateurs, Robby? How long was your amateurs period? Like 6 months, 7 months?
Well, at that point, everything was amateur. Like 76, I won the Worlds in the Bahamas. 77 in Sardinia. 78 in Cancun, Mexico. 79 in Florida. 80 was back in the Bahamas. I got third there. The sport really started advancing in about 1979 is when a lot of brands started coming in. The equipment started developing. I started focusing less on the one design, the windsurfer class, which is what I won the world championships in 76, 77, 78, 79, and started doing the fun board, the Pan Am Cup stuff. And luckily, it was right at the end of my high school time that the sport turned pro. I wasn't sure if I wanted to turn pro or stay amateur and go to the Olympics. And back then, if you took $1, you were a professional and you couldn't go to the Olympics. It was really different than today. Like you couldn't have any support, literally any sponsorship, any prize money, and you were out of the Olympics. And so it was a big decision for me to turn pro. The first two professional events that I won, I actually donated the money to the Olympic Committee and to my school so that I could stay an amateur in case I decided to go to the Olympics. But then I decided to follow the career path. I deferred admissions to college, decided I wouldn't go to university for a year and try being a professional windsurfer. And luckily, I'm still trying. So I never went back, and it was a good choice to have made, because who knows where my life would have gone if I decided to stay amateur and go to college. So for me, it was a good choice.
24 world titles, then 150 victories. What was pretty special, and that's why Corinne Migren, when we talked together before the show, she said, Christophe, you have to realize that Robby Naish, when we were younger and even now, is half God. Is like untouchable, it's another planet. You've been winning in slalom, in racing, in waves, that's in windsurfing. Then after you got some world title in kite surfing as well. All this competition then never stopped. You went all over the world. There was like full-time actions in the planes, and that was a very, very packed life, I would say, all this period when you were into the competition before you started all the business.
Yeah, well, I mean, the business kind of started as a little side thing to the competition. I think unlike most professional athletes, they get to a point and they stop their career, they retire. They either fade out because they're not competitive anymore, or they get injured, so they have to stop, or they just lose motivation and they decide, okay, I'm going to do something else with my life. Some of them start business, but very few tend to do what I've tried to do, which is sort of run the business on the side parallel to being an athlete. And for me, the business was always a secondary sort of necessity, but my priority was being an athlete. And I think it kept me connected to the sports. It probably didn't help the business, because obviously if you spend all day long counting your money and working on the business plans and forecasts, you'll do better than we have, because my priority has been to go on the water and ride and travel and compete. And luckily I've had a good team that are all kind of on the same page as me, where we love the sports. We got into kiting in the very beginning. We were the first, big brand promoting kiting around the world. Same kind of with SUP, kind of the same with wing foiling now. We do it because we love it, and not so much from a business aspect. And for me as well, I was competing around the world on tour while trying to develop Naish and keep things going. Same in kiting, same in SUP, and now with winging. Like when I go to the beach, I don't have like a Naish hat on where I think I'm down there working. I'm riding. And for me, that really hasn't changed since I was 16 or 20 or 30 or 40. The priority is what's happening on the water and developing good gear and having fun with it. And the business is just kind of a side element to that.
That's good. And in all the world titles and in all the destinations, the competitions, do you have any favorite? I'm saying that because in France there are so many people, and I know some people are all over the world, big fan of you. But in France you are really special, and that's why we invited Corinne and Patrice and Nicolas and Jacques. Was France special for you in all these destinations and competition, Robby?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, since the very beginning, France is a sailing country. It's a nautical country for sure. Most people in the world don't realize how big surfing is in France as well. You go to Brittany, it's unbelievable. It's such an incredible coastline. But then you go down to the Basque Country, some of the best waves in the world. I've got a lot of friends down there, Biarritz, Cabreton, Hossegor, that whole area where I've spent really a lot of time over the last 30 years with my connections to Quicksilver and Nepali. So I love it there from a surf and nature standpoint, but from a sailing and windsurfing standpoint, La Torche was sort of the pinnacle of professional windsurfing. Those events in the early 80s were unbelievable. All of the people that made their way out there to the middle of nowhere, at La Torche, when windsurfing was new and exciting, and it really was the beginning of an amazing journey, both for myself and for the sport. So I've always had a really good connection. Even before that, we had Crédit Lyonnais Tour de France à planche à voile, if you remember that, the Division 2 Tour de France.
Yes, we remember, yeah. We have picture of that.
I have incredible memories of that, driving from town to town. You drive a day, race a day, drive a day, race a day. So France has been a big part of my life for a very long time, both from a fun windsurfing standpoint, to competition, to business, obviously, again, with Quicksilver Nepali, a very big part of my life with a lot of people that are very, very close to me. The indoor events, Paris-Bercy, that was as well something incredible in the history of windsurfing that was amazing. It's still amazing when you think about it, and you go back and look at some of the videos and imagery from Bercy. It was,
you know that Robby, Fred Beauchesne was in the Wing Club 4 weeks ago. I gave him a phone call just to say, look, how many fans do you need if we only go for wing foiling? And he said, oh yes, are you talking about wing foiling? And Fred Beauchesne is into wing foiling for the last year and a half. And that's, that means a lot now to see this guy, so much into windsurfing, doing now, like kids, wing foiling and saying, wow, it is cool, it is huge.
Oh yeah, I mean, anybody who's stood on a windsurfer, windsurfing is still amazing. It's still,
yes,
I think when the conditions are right, it's still the most amazing sport in the world. But for sure, the feeling you can get with that simple little foil and board and a wing in your hands, that simplicity and that connection to the water and the wind, where everything goes directly through you, similar to windsurfing, that you're making everything work. That feeling is really powerful, especially if you're a windsurfer, you know that feeling already. And people say, yeah, but you're above the water. You don't have that connection. Is it really the same? And I tell them, yeah, it's the same. And the appeal is very broad. It's appealing to people that used to windsurf. It's a lot easier than windsurf foiling. I was really pushing windsurf foiling the last few years, but that's as fun as it is and as incredible as it is to get you back on the water in light wind. Wing foiling, wing surfing is even simpler. It's even easier to do. You can go in even less wind. The connection and the whole being one with the wind and the water and the foil is even simpler on the wing. So I think the appealing there is even broader, even to windsurfers, because it works so well. You can go through gusty wind like there's no gusts at all. You can go in choppy water, strong wind. Windsurf foiling in strong wind is really hard, even if you're good. Like I'm pretty good, and it's scary. Wing foiling in strong wind, you can do it with your eyes closed. So the broadness of the appeal winging is much bigger. I think there's a lot of old windsurfers that are going to be getting out there with all these young guys that are learning wind sport for the first time with winging. So
but
it's cool.
That's good. So that's the part 2 of our interview when we're going to dig into wing foiling. Just before that, why US 1111? By the way, because I remember US 1 Ken winner, but is that your idea? I don't know if everybody asked these questions before, but why US 1111?
Well, it's pretty simple. When I was racing as a professional before the World Cup was formed, so 1981, 1982, we just had professional events all over the world. No tour, no ranking, no world champion. And in those days, I raced with just a 1 on my sail. And I arrived at the first WSMA World Cup in was it Fuerteventura or Gran Canaria? Fuerteventura, I guess. The very first part of the world tour. And they told us you had to have your country number and a sail number. So it had to be US something. And Ken Winter was already US 1.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't be US 1. I'm like, fuck. I don't want to be US
Dude, don't sweat.
7 or US 44 or US 236. And numbers were either difficult to make or expensive to buy, and I was super cheap. You could make a 1 just with a piece of tape. So I'm like, fuck, I got to use 1s. Do I want to be US 11? So I said, well, how many numbers can you have? And they said, well, you can have your country and 4 numbers. So I said, okay, I'm going to be US 1111 because it looks cool and it's easy to make the 1s. And so that was it. I was US 1111 after that. So no big story behind it. It doesn't represent anything. It was just, it was easy to travel with 1s and easy to put 1s on the sail, and I thought it looked cool.
And the story about the pirate, are you a pirate? Or, like, because we've been dreaming about the pirate things. The skull.
Yeah, I've loved the skull since, pretty early in my career, guys were asking me when I was going to retire. Like when I was 20, people were asking me if I was going to retire, when I was going to retire. And when I was 25, people were asking when I was going to retire. And so the first skull I painted, the first pirate I painted on the bottom of, I think it was an asymmetrical Hokipa board. I had this really amazing artist that did a lot of our airbrushing in the days of, the really colorful boards. Before epoxy, it was all polyester. So everything had beautiful airbrushes, and I had Trank Pascal, who was one of our main artists at Naish, to airbrush me a pirate. Because it was like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm like an old pirate. I'm going to be around, forever, and I'm not going to retire. And that's kind of what started it. And so from then I developed that guy and, turned him into the logo that soon became sort of representative of me. And now it's kind of one of the secondary logos for Naish, the brand. And just always liked pirates and skulls, and like I painted these skull boards behind me that,
Do you think, Robby, it was a good idea for us to be in pirate this evening? Because that was a big question for me, for the band, the princess. Like,
I don't know. That's up to your fans, I guess.
Yes, we are fans.
Can I say a few things? So first, Christophe wanted to dress us as a princess, and I said, look, there's nothing with princess. Robby, I have the really hard job to read lots of comments. Thank you everyone for all the comments and the questions. I love the things. It was no good. It wasn't a big deal. It was just a small thing. The US 111, the skull, and it has become such an iconic thing. And it has I'm thinking of like one of our biggest windsurfer in Ireland is IR 11111 because following the idol. So a little hello to a kiss because he's one of your big fan and he's watching tonight. Another of the question there, why before we really hit. We go to the main meal, which is the windsurfing. Quick one. If you had to choose between windsurfing and wing foiling, very quick answer. Yes, no.
It depends where I live. Fortunately, I don't have to choose. So if you put a gun to my head and said choose one,
yes,
I guess one. It depends. It depends where. If I got to sail Hokipa every day, I would probably choose windsurfing. If you told me, I'm not going to tell you where you're going to be, but you're going to have some wind and some water somewhere, choose your toy, then I would choose a wing for sure because you can have fun in anything. I don't really have a lot of fun windsurfing if it's light wind and flat water anymore, for example. It's still nice meditation going out, but there's not a lot of challenge there. Winging, I still really enjoy what we call mowing the lawn. If you're just going back and forth on top of the water, the wing is really the most fun way to do that, a wing and a foil. Just going back and forth is fun. So I would probably take a wing foil right now.
That's fair enough. Good, quick one as well to catch up with all those questions. Sorry, we won't be able to answer all of them. Sorry. You inspired so many of us. Who inspired you, Bertrand Morier?
Yeah, I wasn't really conscious of inspiration and other people when I was younger. I was just really into my own thing, and the sports that I was involved with, we were kind of paving the way. There weren't older guys, there was no, history of windsurfers before us. There was no internet. You weren't following other people on Instagram and trying to be like them. We had television, but there were only 3 channels. And I never liked team sports. I still don't really like team sports. It's just not my style. I guess there was a period there where I looked up to surfers like Jeff Hackman, Jerry Lopez. If you surf, especially in my generation, Jerry Lopez was and still is an icon. The king of pipeline. Surfers. And then as I grew older, I started to get more sort of broad in my sort of looking around for inspiration. And I think even more so today. And taking inspiration from athletes across the board and people across the board. Kelly Slater has been a friend of mine for 30-something years. He still amazes me and inspires me. Guys like that absolutely love what they do, that are passionate for something and just put everything into it, is inspiring, regardless of if it's a sport that I am involved with or not. But as a kid, I didn't have anybody's picture on my wall. I wasn't trying to be like somebody else. Fortunately, again, I was involved with something that we were kind of creating it. And I was really self-centered. I was pretty selfish. I was really driven. So I was, just kind of doing my own thing, luckily.
That's good. Thank you so much, Robby. We are now inspired by your part 2 transition with Guillaume and Vincent. Part 2, talking about wing foiling. And then after, we've got a lot of fans joining now the Zoom for questions. Part 2, wing foiling. Thank you so much. There will be a live after for the people who don't want to go to bed too early or who are only waking up like yourself, Robby Naish. So, wing foiling, Robby Naish in 1995, sorry, Naish shells. In 1999, Naish kiteboarding, 2007 Naish stand-up paddle, and now a couple of years ago, the wing surf. So you've been there at every rendezvous. The first one. That was a huge video. You kicked something 2 years and a half. You realized when you did this video and this trip with the wing foil that something was going to go on fire?
I had a pretty good idea that it was going to be appealing, and that it was going to grow pretty darn quickly, because I knew that if I was having that much fun with it, that other people were also going to have that much fun with it. I've been doing adrenaline type things for a long time. It takes a certain something to get me excited, compared to most people. So I knew that if I was having fun on that thing, just going back and forth, imagine what a guy that doesn't sail Jaws and doesn't know what it feels like to bottom turn and hit the lip at Hokipa, just a normal guy or girl, how they're going to feel cruising around on that thing. Luckily, I was right, and in fact, I was completely blown away how quickly it caught on. I knew it was going to be exciting, but 2 years ago, I was the only guy out, with Mickey Schweiger and some of my guys. I would be the only person out at Kanaha, and for 6 months, I was the only guy out there. We were, developing our wings and testing them and playing with foils, and the windsurfers and the kiters were checking us out. Now, there's, maybe like yesterday, there were probably 25 kiters at Kanaha, quite a few. There were probably 10, 12 windsurfers, and there were probably 40 wingers. Like, it's insane how fast it took off. And it's not just like ex windsurf, ex kite guys in it. There's surfers. There's guys that have never been involved with wind sports before. A lot of our Maui crew were never windsurfers, never kiters. Like, didn't have anything to do with the wind. They came from foiling, from foil surfing, from stand up, just kids coming in for the first time into water sports. So again, the demographic is insane. How fast it's brought this giant population of people together. There's fucking 50 brands already, I think. It's insane how fast it's grown. So it's cool. Neat to be a part of something from the very beginning. And it's kind of cool to know that I had a hand in starting that trend.
Yeah, the first try, you said you were with Michi Schweiger and some of your guys. That was Brian Dennis. That's the main guy behind the design today in Naish for the different wing foiling design from Naish, yeah?
Well, he puts the specs in the program and does the parameters. He doesn't wing himself. I'm pretty much doing the designs. Like with a lot of our stuff at Naish, everything is a group effort. I don't take anything and go, this is how it's going to be. We talk and we collaborate about everything. Like the very first ones that we did when Damien Girardin was my kite designer, he didn't wing either. At that point, he had never even tried it. I still don't know if he's actually even tried it. So the function of the design has to come from writing it and knowing what you want the parameters of the design to do. And the actual implementation into the program, obviously we do everything in CAD. That is the meticulous sitting down and putting things out. And then we sit down and we look at the designs and we tweak them before we send them off to get prototypes. But it has to come from writing. You'll see people that design things that are doing it on theory, like fins and foils.
Yeah.
You can never tell me this is the world's best foil because some guy designed it in CAD and he knows, flowing dynamics and this is the perfect foil until you get your feet under it and really write it and put the pressures on it and write it through the chop. There are things that work on paper that don't work at all in the water. So it takes getting on the water and playing with them and then bringing it back to theory and working things around. So you got to ride. And design comes from riding and understanding the equipment. And then
but Robby, it's easy to say you have to ride, when you live to Maui, and we live in Brittany, and I'm not saying it's cold today, it's cool, but sometimes, the world is complicated, and we cannot ride every day. You were saying there are more people, 40 wing foiler today on the wing foil. You see more kids, you see more ladies as well. I've seen a video from Julia. That's what we see here. It's very exciting now, the kids and.
Oh, it's super exciting. But as you said, that's why you want to buy your equipment from people that actually ride and have conditions to ride all the time. Not someone who's sitting in the snow trying to design stuff that they're going to use in 6 months when they get on the water. But yeah, it's exciting. There's tons of girls. Lots of girls, lots of women, young, old. I mean, at Kanaha yesterday, I was there with my girlfriend, Julia. She's in her mid-40s. There's women out there that are in their 60s. There's girls that are 18, young, hot, sporty, girls that are out winging. There's little girls, pre-teens that are out winging, and lots of little kids, little boys. We have 8-year-old, we have 10-year-old, we have 13-year-old. Yesterday was a boy that's in my 13, 14-year-old daughter's class. So, yeah, a lot of kids, a lot of girls, a lot of guys. It's freaking awesome.
Robby,
it's not just.
Can I ask you? It's a question from one of our actually oldest fan from the clubs. He lives in the west of Ireland. He's the only kite surfer on his island off the west coast of Ireland. His name is Sean Swift, and he's a young wing surfer. And he's saying a serious question. He's drinking a lot on Tuesday night, but he has a serious question. Do you think that a centerboard or fin would open up the non-foil sub for better performance?
Yeah, of course. I mean, if you're learning, if you haven't gotten on the foil yet, if you're just trying to get the feeling of the wing itself before you move to a foil board, certainly just using a windsurf board with a dagger board an inflatable crossover board with a center fin, anything to give you a little bit more lateral resistance. You know, if you're a windsurfer, you know how to make a board with no fin go upwind. But certainly by having a fin further forward, anything forward of the tail that gives you lateral resistance will help those first few steps of, you know, going back and forth, just learning what the wind is doing. If you don't come from a wind background, you kind of just learn the dynamic of what the wind is doing, what the wing is doing in your hands, making it back to where you started, and then you move to a foil board. But a lot of people here aren't even starting on an SUP. They're just starting on a 120 liter, depending on their weight, 100 liter, 95 liter foil board, and that's it. Never starting on a longboard.
Can I ask you, Christophe? Can I ask Robby a favor, because I know this guy is struggling. He's been trying for the last 6 months to wing foil, and he's on his own, a bit like you. You know, if you were looking at him face to face, his name is Sean. What advice would you tell Sean in the west of Ireland, Robby, to keep going?
Well, Sean, practice makes perfect. So, one, you want to go try and find somewhere with flat water. You know, if it's onshore and there's shore break and it's really choppy, that makes the whole equation much more difficult. If you look on Maui, for example, most people on our North Shore go to learn in the harbor, Kahului Harbor, which is, you know, inside the harbor with dead flat water. Gusty, shitty wind, but that doesn't matter because it's dead flat water, and that makes learning much, much easier. So every day there's 10, 20, 30 people that are out there in that little inside area of Kahului Harbor learning to wing foil just because it's dead flat. So the wind is not so important, you know, but flat water really helps. And just keep trying. Make sure you're on a big enough board, you've got stability, and yeah, it'll come for sure. I mean, this is a pretty quick learning curve. If I look at the people out, again, a lot of the people winging are not that sporty, that didn't come from foiling, that didn't come from windsurfing or kiting, and they're out there ripping. In a couple of months, they're killing it. So it's pretty easy to learn.
So, Robby, for Nicolas Hénard, who is coming from Tornado, Olympic double Olympic medalist, gold medalist, or from Corinne Migren in offshore racing, sailing, or from Jacques in longboarding, or Patrice Martin from wakeboarding and hardcore ski nautic, definitely you tell them, all of you, go and jump into wing foiling if you have the time, yeah?
Yeah, well, I was talking to my dad last night. My father, Rick, is 81, 1940. So he is going to be 82 this year. He's 81 years old. He's snowboarding in California right now. And we were talking about wing foiling last night on the phone. When he comes back, he's going to learn to wing. Because he's like, you know, that sounds like something for me. I'm like, yeah, this is something for you. There's no impact. Like, that's something that at 80 years old, he could fully learn to do, which is amazing. The accessibility is there. From a sailing standpoint, there is no less expensive, simpler, more direct, more gratifying foiling sailing available. I mean, obviously these days, if it has a sail and it's on the water, it's on foils, or people are trying to figure out how to put it on foils. So if you compare it to any other foiling class, you know, whether it's a moth or anything, this gives you amazing performance with incredible accessibility. You know, you can stick it in the back of your car. You don't need a trailer. It's a few $1,000s for everything. And it gets you out there. I think this will bring a lot of people to the water that would not have been coming to the water before. Sort of like windsurfing in the 70s. The appeal is really, really broad. I think it's going to be good for sailing. It's good for water sport in general. But in terms of any other foiling class, it's going to be huge. Like racing on these things is going to be so cool. We've only had a couple of races here, but you can put a lot of them in a really small place. Wind and water conditions don't matter. You can go in super strong wind. You can go in light wind. Like it's fantastic racing. They go upwind like a son of a
very
bitch.
safe.
You can reach.
Very
Yeah,
safe.
safe. If you try on a windsurf, on the Olympic windsurf foil, for example, it's great upwind. It's okay downwind. Reaching is death defying. Like you'll see the best guys in the world, 100 kilos, and they're scared, like scared for their lives going on a reach on those things. And on a wing, you can go on any point of sail in any wind, and you're in total control because you can adjust that foil. You can follow the surface of the water without even having to think about it, and the wind transfers straight into your body. Where with a windsurf rig, even with a kite foil, there's a delay. You get a gust up there, and it takes a split second to push the nose of the board down. Kite foil racing is incredible, but it's not aesthetically that pleasing. Really wide stance, ass out. There's not a lot of tactics. It's kind of run to the ley line, one tack, run to the ley line, and then follow the leader. I don't love that kind of sailboat racing. I love tactics like match racing, which is one of the cool things about watching America's Cup, watching the Prada Cup, is they actually had tactics on those boats. They got to the point where they were really match racing, not just running to the ley line, one tack, and then boat speed the rest of the race. And wing foiling offers that. You can make it really tactical. It's not just pure boat speed because we've got really good angles of attack against the wind, quick transitions. You can go on every point of sail. So I think the future from a sailing standpoint is freaking awesome.
That's good. That's
Why
excellent.
did you call it windsurfing?
Cool. Yeah, cool questions, Peter. Before to switch as well to our fans. So why did they call it windsurfing?
Sorry?
Why did you call it wingsurfer? Is wingsurfing wing foiling? Why did you call your brand wingsurfer?
Well, because surfing has a very, very broad appeal, like kite surfing instead of kiteboarding, windsurfing instead of, what were they calling it, sailboarding in the early days. And I think it just connects to a degree broader than foiling. You don't have to use a foil. Like, it is fun just going out on a longboard on a lake, going in small waves on a longboard with a wing is super fun. It's actually, to me, more fun than riding waves on the foil. Like, you can ride waves on the foil, but it's different than when you're actually riding the surface of the water on like a longboard SUP with the wing. So I just figured it had broader appeal, calling it wing surfing than wing foiling. It's obviously becoming more wing foiling, but even within that realm, they're still kind of surfing. They're standing on a board, and it's a crossover of multiple sports. It's wake, it's snow, it's skate, it's surf. It's that kind of hybrid of many different board sports together.
That's good. That's exciting. Robby, some of our guests they have a very busy schedule, and we have a lot of fans, in fact, coming. Regarding Nicolas, Corinne, Jack, and Patrice, I know you are super, super busy. So many things are happening, and I think all these words from Robby are pretty important when he's talking about racing, competition, fun, simplicity, bringing the kids and the ladies. Is there any questions from the top 4 guests of this evening?
Wanted to say that I'm very glad to see that there is at least a toy which has been designed for girls. At least, that's great. Especially on the water, we are more used to have some more powerful toy, which are a bit more difficult to handle as a woman. And it's really wonderful to see this new toy coming out. So I guess we will have a lot of women coming out then and being as iconic as you are. And that will be the next step, I think, then to have more women on the water is having also iconic women coming to high level in competition in that new field. I'm sure there is a very an amazing future for the wing surfing in our yacht club as well, in the club. because it's
Yeah.
an amazing toy to learn and to get the kids in on the water and to get women on the water. So
Yeah.
and probably and I hope and I wish one day at the Olympic. What do you think about that?
Oh, no question. I mean, if you compare it, again, I love kiting and I love windsurfing, but if you compare the accessibility to the water, like you just mentioned, yacht clubs. If you're going out, the normal yacht club is flat water on the inside, very often offshore wind. You have to go through the gusty wind to get out into the wind. If you try doing that on a kite, it's just about impossible, death defying, especially if you're talking about mattress kite, racing, foil kite, the Olympic type class. Windsurfing, also pretty tough getting out of crappy, gusty, shitty wind conditions. And on this, as long as you have a floaty enough board, which I really promote, I'm not one of these guys saying get on the smallest board possible because it's cooler. Like, I think you should be on a board that's big enough to stand and float comfortably. You can get out in any wind. It doesn't matter how gusty and terrible the wind is. You can get out into the wind and you're up foiling almost immediately. And same with getting back to the yacht club. Getting back safely to where you started from on the wing is really easy compared to kiting and even windsurfing. In terms of the appeal to women, like the very first video I made about windsurfing, I said the beauty is in the simplicity. And I still believe in that wholeheartedly. You have that tiny little wing, no hard parts, no boom, no strings, no lines. It's just you pump it up, you hold on to it, and you go. The board is light and small. The foil is light and small. There's a finesse to it that I think is appealing to women. Like if you come to Kana, our level, we clearly have, because we've got more background, we've been doing it longer here than most places. I mean, there's good people coming from all over the world, but we have a pretty high level here. And if you look at the guys and the girls, some of the best looking style-wise people to watch are the girls, not the guys. The guys,
Oh, you know how to talk to ladies, Robby. You know how to talk
No,
to
I mean-
ladies.
No, François. This is not me, Chris. This is not Christophe speaking. No, this is François. You are married. You have two kids.
Robby. Robby. I agree.
You watch my girlfriend Julia go upwind. She looks so good. We have a young girl on our team. I think she's 18 or 19, named Mona. She rides with such great style. Even the photographers, we're doing our photo shoots, and they're like, "Oh my God, the style!" Like they'd rather shoot the girls than the guys, just because they look so smooth and fluid doing it. So again, I think there's.
It's the same with the Vendée Globe. The girls has been so amazing and more stylish than the men.
Yeah,
even
but I
in
think
the weight
really fits, because again, you can rig it yourself. You don't, it's light, it's simple, it's fluid. It's I think it's going to have a huge appeal to girls and women. I mean, my daughter, again, my daughter is a good example. She's just turning 14. She surfs a bit. She hasn't learned to kite surf. She can windsurf, but she doesn't really like it. Same with her friends, and suddenly the appeal of winging is like, that's fun. That's what I want to do. And she's really good at winging. She's jibing. I don't know. I think there's a broader appeal because of the simplicity. There's no lines and there's not all this complicated stuff, and you just go. And that's really appealing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you think there is an Olympic future for the wing?
Absolutely. I just hope they keep it simple, that they keep it inflated and don't create a race war to super high-tech stuff. Because obviously if ultimate speed is the goal, a rigid rig will eventually be faster. But what's so appealing right now is that inflated structure where you have no boom and you have no mast and you have no battens and it's single service, and that provides already such amazing performance. The original wing surfer from 2 years ago is already still better than most of the people now. Like, there's no reason to continue to advance the gear to a point where we eliminate a lot of potential people from doing it because we make it too complicated. With carbon fiber rigs and carbon fiber masts and double surface wings, and we're going 8 knots faster, but we just eliminated 20,000 people from participating because now it's expensive and complicated. So I hope the Olympic path stays similar to what we have now, with simple boards and simple foils and inflated wings, and then it has a huge future.
Okay. Nicolas, you want to follow maybe Corinne Migren comments and a question about the Olympics, or any questions to Robby? We're so lucky to have Robby with us tonight.
It was just a comment. When Robby was talking about the wing foil, I was just having a look at the internet to find one, because I'd like to start with on the wing foil now. I'm quite motivated to learn. But my question was for a usual sailor like me, how long will it take to have fun?
I would say if you already know how to sail and you get on a big board, you would learn the wing in 20 minutes probably. And then, for example, my girlfriend, again, when she went from the SUP, she went on the SUP for maybe a half an hour, and then she started on the wing foil board, just taking my 95 liter, which is pretty big for her, floaty. And I put her on a Naish 1650 front wing, so a pretty good size, slow, stable front wing, really good all around. She went out and back, just trying to keep the board on the water, getting the feel. Back out the third time, so 1, 2, third time she started getting up on the foil. Turned around, started getting up on the foil coming in. Fifth time out was foiling for like 100 meters. After an hour, she was foiling in both directions. So if you know wind, that really helps. So she doesn't foil surf. She knows how to SUP. She knows how to windsurf. She knows the wind. And that was a pretty standard example. My daughter was the same. Other friends that I've taught, usually within an hour, they're foiling, maybe not making it back upwind yet. They end up 100 meters down the beach and have to come back up. But the learning curve is amazingly quicker than I thought it would be with the foil.
So 20 minutes, Nicolas. Challenge is on. We want to be there as a wing club. We take the camera, we take the band with the pirate, with the queen, playing the music, any song, 20 minutes. We will be there. And wind. What about you, Jacques? Because you're not that specialist of wind, Jacques, but you have the gliss, you have the longboard, you have the feeling on the wave. Like, you look excited when you see all these people winging around the surfing spot. You have to unmute the mic. So
it's all about wing surfing.
It's clear. But I understand 20 minutes. So tomorrow morning I will go on the beach. 50 minutes from my home.
Okay.
And I'll try.
Here's a challenge.
Maybe you will have a die on your head.
Oh, Jacques, I did not know you. I was not expecting some man of challenge. So you go for 15 minutes. Would Patrice Martin, you want to take the challenge as well, Patrice Martin, with all your world title? You want to go less in 15 minutes to learn wing foiling after all the good advice from Robby the King?
You know what? I'm not a wind man, because water ski and we're looking at flat water. When there is a little bit of wind, you're like, oh no, it's a bad day. And I was bad in my experience in windsurfing, because it was the opposite of what I was looking.
But when
I'm listening of what you're saying, you know what? I didn't find any new thing I wanted to try. Especially, I quit water ski because I'm getting old and it's difficult on your body. But when I'm listening at what you're saying, I mean, I really want to go and try that, because it looks so easy, it looks so amazing, and you have something to feel and to feel free. That's a very good challenge. But I have to learn about the wind, because I know I can go out, but I have to come back also.
Yeah, but it's a perfect complement to wake and water ski, because as soon as the wind is enough to make the water shitty for wakeboarding and water skiing, that's enough wind already to go on the wing. You only need 7 to 10 knots and you're totally going on a wing. And again, no harness. There's almost no power in your arms, because once you get up on the foil, there's no resistance. So there's not this, you're not fighting the wind the way most people kind of feel that they're doing with windsurfing. Like if you get really good at windsurfing, you feel that you're one with the wind, but it takes a long time to get there. There's power in your arms all the time. Kiting, a little bit less so, but still, you need a harness. It's a bit more complicated. And winging, you can hold on with 2 fingers, and you're just gliding along the surface. So
quick one, Robby. So harness, no harness. So it's no harness, yeah?
Yeah, no harness. The only time you need a harness straps is if you're using a really big wing in light wind for a long time. Because like if you're using a 6 meter, 6.8, 7 meter, those make enough static power, even in light wind, that eventually your arms are going to get a little bit tired. Like if you were going to take a 6 meter and do it doesn't really matter. I like straps because I like that connection.
Very good.
They're certainly not necessary. I think unless you're jumping, you don't really need straps. In fact, no straps allows you 3-dimensional, you don't have to have your feet in the same place. You can move them around. But for people that are not that experienced, sometimes once they know their feet go there in the straps and they have the strap in the right spot for their foil, it makes things even more secure. But it's a personal preference. Here, it's like 50-50.
Okay.
Thank
you so much, Robby. Manu, we have a pirate joining as well, another pirate. You know this guy in the middle?
Yeah.
We're gonna.
Ben c'est Yves.
It's Yves who's gonna unmute his mic. But what is he doing there? A real pirate.
Christophe, we should do a 24 hours live with Robby, by the way, because there are so many questions to ask. But anyway, okay.
We try to keep below 1 hour and a half because we have all the fans after joining. Yves, we are pirates, but you are a real pirate, yeah, Yves Le Blévec?
20 minutes. I try tomorrow, Christophe.
Okay. I'm a man of challenge. I'll be in La Trinité with all the equipment, okay, and with all my team. Manu, of course. Maybe I'm bringing my Porsche and the 2 guys from the band Romeo. You are a man who know wind. Robby was saying, look, when you know wind, it's very quick. You know about wind.
Sorry, I understand nothing.
You what?
Yeah, he's a pirate. Why everyone is French in this show?
Because they are mega stars. It's a French show. So, Yves Le Blévec, you're the skipper of Actual Leaders that I can see just on my back. That's your boat.
Okay.
Your machine.
Yes, it's like a big wind foil, but we can sail many people in board. And,
yes, a full team.
It's the same thing, but bigger.
Okay, thank you so much. You are an incredible skipper in France. Have you met before, Robby? Have you met Yves Le Blévec or the people from the Yule team class?
No. I've been watching them, of course, and watching the development of those boats over the last several years. And it's unbelievable, especially a trimaran. In the old days, a trimaran would go 100 kilometers and break apart with all of these loads. There was no way to build it strong enough. It still amazes me that they can go that fast with that much load in that rough water, and it still stays together. The carbon fiber construction is unbelievable. The amount of load on those boats when they're going full speed in the Atlantic in 5-meter surf. It's incredible, absolutely incredible.
Incredible machine. I am so pleased, Robby, that you meet tonight Yves Leblevec, because you made a surprise, Robby, to me, and Yves Leblevec made a surprise to me, and he said, "Look, Chris, I have a surprise. I have a surprise as well for the Wing Club, and I have a surprise because you are, Yves Leblevec, a big fan of Robby Naish, as we are, yeah."
Yes, sure. I think for all of us, you are the boss of sailing, and I'm very, very happy to be here this evening. And
thank you.
I'm very happy to invite you in board when you come in France, in Brittany. You are welcome in board actual trimaran.
Yeah, thank you. I would love to come for a sail. And I haven't been to Brittany in too long, so I've got to go visit. I've got lots of friends in Brittany as well. Terry Belbiac and all these guys that I haven't seen for so long. I would love to see them again. And Jacques Pichavon, so many friends in Brittany that it would be cool to come and visit.
Robby, you have the hello of Didier Lafitte and Alain Pichavant, by the way. They just send me a text. They say, "Hey, look, you're with Robby," and they are in Oléron and in the virtual nautics, the boat show. So you have the hello of all these people in this community. So Yves Leblevec and with the community of the Ultime, there are not so many people racing on Ultime. It's a very, very small group, elite. So thank you very much. And Yves Leblevec, you wanted to give as well a present to a fan. So one of the gifts will be as well to one of the fans of the Wing Club and of Robby Naish. We will organize a game later, but somebody will go on the actual leaders whenever they want.
Very cool.
That's cool. Thank you so much. That's a cool present. That's a cool present, Robby, and I would recommend strongly to use this machine. I've been once with Loïc Perron, and that's the sound of it, the sound of the carbon, Robby, is incredible. You think everything will collapse. It's like...
Yeah, the loads are tremendous. I went to San Francisco during the last America's Cup. I was going to go and ride on the Oracle team boat with Jimmy Spithill. I went on the chase boat. We were following the cat, listening to the it sounds like it's going to explode. And then unfortunately they broke the boat just before I was going to get on, so I didn't actually get to go for a ride on it. So I'll have to come ride on the Ultima with Yves. Even better.
That's cool. Hey, do you still have a few minutes? We have some fans now joining. They wanted to come and ask questions. I'm not sure about Corinne and Nicolas, Jacques, Patrice. Let me know if you are short in time regarding the schedule. Whenever you want. So I'm going to bring some fans. We're going to put a little bit of music, and then I'm going to let all the fans entering in the Zoom. And I can tell you, Robby, that they are super stressed to talk to the boss.
Right.
C'est la chanson de l'Orient sur le quai de Rouen, celle qui nous fait chanter, danser, rassembler. Viens faire un tour sur mon canot, là le canot. Je t'emmène faire une bonne balade le long de la rade. Je t'emmène faire une bonne balade le long de la rade. Tous les ans il y a le festival devant les halles. Les cousines viennent nous voir le soir derrière le moustoir pour se combler l'espoir sec à Kerzabiek. Mais elles repartent toujours trop tôt rue du Proto. Mais elles repartent toujours trop tôt rue du Proto. Pendant ce temps-là on fait la fête rue du Liscouette. Il y a de la musique dans tous les bars, la rue Pompard. Et quand on a le gosier qui sèche rue de Marsèche, on va le remettre sur la bonne pente rue de l'eau courante. On va le remettre sur la bonne pente rue de l'eau courante. C'est la chanson des gars de l'Orient sur le quai de Rouen, celle qui nous fait chanter, danser une l'assemblée. Viens faire un tour sur mon canot, là du canot. Je t'emmène faire une bonne balade le long de la rade. Je t'emmène faire une bonne balade le long de la rade.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's so good to have a live band now. Yes,
of course.
Christophe, Robby is always talking about his girlfriend, but can we ask what's the name of the band? What's the name on Sky?
Right. That's Freddie Valet from France calling while we had the music. Sorry. Say hi to Freddie.
Can we ask the girlfriend of the pianist to at least come and shave? It's Robby Naish, I'm just saying.
No, but it's pirate, the people in the live music, they haven't been playing that much, recently, unfortunately. So they are good and they are very happy to be with us. And we are very, very happy to be with them. They are rock stars. Do you like our rock stars? This is our little surprise. Another surprise, Robby. You like it or you feel a bit uncomfortable with the princess?
Whatever you guys want, it's good with me. All good.
Hey, I tell you, Robby, they are big fans. When I told them, Robby is coming, do you want to play? They are windsurfers. They've got plenty of wishbones and fins in the in the garage. The kids as well. So big fans. Really easy to convince. Okay, talking about the other fans, I'm going to ask the question first to Sophie or maybe John Kenny. We start with a lady first and then we have a priest. We have a priest on live. Sophie, comment ça va? Tu m'entends? Alors, est-ce que tu m'entends, Sophie?
Ouais, je t'entends, mais j'entends plein de voix en même temps, donc...
Ah, c'est normal, il y a beaucoup de monde. J'espère que tu vas bien. Toi, tu es en Bretagne. Est-ce que tu as une question à poser à Robby?
Ouais, déjà, je suis super impressionnée. Merci, Christophe, pour cette rencontre, c'est top. Je voulais juste savoir, il a participé à plein de régates, plein de courses. Laquelle il gardera en mémoire qu'il a vraiment marqué.
D'accord, ok.
In English,
No. Robby, I think you speak good French. What's your answer? What is your most favorite souvenir in all the races? Is there a special moment in the competitions where you will remember that forever for different reasons?
Fortunately, I had so many good memories through competition that they just kept coming and coming and coming and making new memories. And I think that's one of the reasons why I competed for so long. That it wasn't just one really good thing that I remember. It's, I've got 100 good competition memories, some of them more than others. Obviously the first world championship in the Bahamas when I was just 13 by myself, first time out of the country. That was incredible, but I remember it now more from photos. It's kind of hard to remember things from when you were 13. I'm not like my brother Randy where he remembers everything from his entire life like this. But yeah, again, tons of good memories, and the memories are still coming. Even though I'm not competing, sport is still pretty much my whole life, and I still love it. And even though I'm maybe not as good as I used to be, I'm not as powerful as I used to be, my level is still good enough that I'm still making memories, and it's still making me want to go tomorrow. I went winging yesterday. I went winging the day before. I went windsurfing the day before that. And I think that's what's cool about these sports too, is you can keep doing them. I'm going to be 58 next month, so I'm still in pretty good shape, but I'm not 20. But I can still keep having fun and keep, doing things at a pretty high level, so the memories keep coming. And I think that's
talking. Christophe, talking about the memory.
I have to translate for Sophie, François. I have to translate for Sophie.
Sorry.
Sophie, you got everything or? Pardon, Sophie, donc c'est dur, hein, la carrière elle est tellement longue. Son premier championnat quand il avait 13 ans, il était tout seul aux Bahamas, mais après voilà, ça s'est accumulé et puis il y a encore plein de souvenirs et il arrive à ses 58 ans et puis il a la frite, la banane, il peut pas envoyer aussi fort que dans le passé, mais en tout cas il a assez pour prendre plein de plaisir avec toutes ces sessions à venir. Voilà la réponse de Robby Naish. Tu peux maintenant t'évanouir, Sophie.
Oui, merci Christophe.
It's a French lesson as well. Hello, Sophie. Can we translate in Irish? No, I have a question about memories with Robby. So if we go back to the closest one with wing surfing or wingboarding, which one? What is your best kind of like most intense, latest memory in windsurfing? Was that to do a jump or to do a big downwinder, or very recently?
I mean, winging is still young enough, and we're still improving at such a speed that usually my best memory is the most recent session. Yesterday, yeah, I'd say yesterday I had some of the best waves I've ever had. But probably up to now, my most favorite session. See, I'm goofy foot, yeah. So I goofy foot surf, and winging. I stand both ways like windsurfing, left foot forward, front. I'm not always standing switch like some guys, so I switch my feet. But wave riding, when I get on a wave, wing foiling, I'm goofy foot, so I stand switch. And the problem on Maui is the wind is always from the right. So riding, I'm always having to go backside. And we finally had Kona wind, Hokipa, Kona wind lanes about 3 weeks ago. And in more than 2 years of winging, it was the first time that I was able to surf frontside, goofy foot with the wing. And that was freaking so much fun. So that's probably my best memory so far, is being able to ride frontside. Yeah.
Okay, that's incredible. But by the way, it's completely different. But one of the guests has to take a train very early. Patrice Martin, you have to leave apparently. I just wanted to say thank you and bye-bye, Patrice Martin, because some fans are jumping in. Some fans will go. You are on mute at the moment, Patrice. I know there are so many people. Thank you so much.
Right. Thanks for everybody. Thanks for that memory I will keep all the rest of my life. Thanks again, all of you.
Pleasure meeting you. Have a good night.
15 minutes, 15 minutes to learn wing foiling for the president of FFSNW, Fédération Française de Ski Nautique et de Wakeboard. Okay, another fan, John Kenny from Ireland, a priest with Robby Naish. I am not drinking alcohol. This is tea. I am drinking tea.
Father John is here.
Bye.
He's talking for the world.
Father John, how are you? There is Fred Bush talking. Can you hear us, Father John?
There's a time lag going on here.
Do you have any questions for Robby Naish, Father John?
I like it.
My question is, all the apart from the sport, the competition, and the business, and all the work you do, all the high adrenaline. Yes, I can. No, that's better. Okay, I'm just saying. Yes, apart from the high adrenaline stuff that you do in the sport, the competition, the business, is there a spiritual aspect to your involvement on the water?
Yeah, I mean, there must be, or I probably wouldn't have been able to live the life that I've lived for this long. I've always had a great appreciation for how lucky I am. It's probably spiritual in a different light than religious spiritual. But I certainly have tried to live a path with moral guidance, trying to be a good person, try to look people in the eye with respect. I've tried to always keep my feet on the ground regardless of success, and try to remember and instill in other people that I understand how lucky I am to live the life that I live. I know that I've had an incredibly blessed life that is a lot easier than what most people have. And I've been very lucky many, many times over as well. And obviously I get to make a living doing what most people do on holiday or dream of doing on holiday. And I've never taken it for granted. I don't drink alcohol. I haven't drunk alcohol in like 15 years. I don't smoke. I've never done drugs. I'm by no means perfect, but I I try to be a good dad. I love my family. I'm certainly not without flaws. Some of them bigger than others, but as a person, I try to live with an incredible appreciation for the path that I've been given in life, and that I'm provided with every day. The environment that I get to go and play in and make a living and get paid for, again, is I've been lucky a million times over, and the luck just keeps coming. If it stopped tomorrow, I would look back and still be incredibly thankful for everything that I've been given. I've been, again, massively lucky, and sometimes you earn luck and sometimes it's just given to you. Sometimes it just happens, but regardless, you got to appreciate it. And at least I've got that, that I carry around with me every day. And so, yeah, I'm spiritual probably in a different sense than many people, but I'm certainly guided by more than my ego as I go through the day.
Thank you very much, John Kenny. That was a very good question. Thanks, Robby. Nicola, I think you have to leave as well. Nicola Renard. Thanks so much, Nicola, for joining us. There's other fans joining. Thank you. All the best with all the Fédération Française de Voile and all the next project, because there are a lot of projects. Thank you.
Christophe, it's incredible just on tonight the number of people that influence, so many people that already are influenced by Robby Naish. We've been talking to the 4 presidents of the major federation in France and the most famous priest in Ireland, who is a massive paddleboarder, and his paddleboard board is actually a Naish board. So it's incredible. Just wanted to say that. That's all.
Oh, hold on, John Kenny, your stand-up paddle is Naish, yeah? Is that what you said, Francois? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's customer service number 1.
And Christophe, and I just realized one thing, if I may say, right? In full honesty, yeah. And that was another question for business for Robby for later on. But the first, believe that or not, right? We don't. The Pure Magic shop doesn't work with Naish, but that's okay, we will, and we would like to, especially after this interview. But the first wing I ever tried was a Naish one. That started my career as a windsurfer. Funny enough.
Francois, you're a freak. Okay, other fan. We've got now, thank you so much, John Kenny, and we bless you as well. We've got Fred Dia. How are you, Fred? Any questions for Robby Naish? Maybe you've met already Fred and Robby.
Sorry, I get some echo. What did you say, Christophe?
I'm saying, have you met Robby already? Yeah?
Well, yeah, actually, thank you for making this gathering happen, Christophe. I actually had the chance to meet Robby. I don't know if you remember, but it was I think it was 2015 at the Maui Mai Tai with Bill Tai and the whole gang a couple of years ago, and we were talking about your Evans car, your 91 yellow. Amazing.
Right.
I don't know if it's a dragster or whatever. It's just so crazy. And I was talking to you about that car because I saw it in one of the windsurfing videos that I was watching hours and hours. And actually, you said just before in the show that you don't get excited very easily about things. And I thought this would be a good way to know how excited you are about wing spoiling. I wanted to know, how would you compare to driving your Evans 91 Evans car wing foiling? Which is better, the car or the wing foil?
Well, I honestly, I spend a lot more time winging than driving my Evans. My Evans is parked right behind those boards. I don't think I've driven it in probably 3 or 4 months. I start it all the time just, to keep it running. It's becoming quite vintage, by today's standards. So certainly I'm winging more. I still love cars. I'm driving them less and less. Maui is not a great place to be a car guy. We have no racetrack here. We have a drag strip, but it hasn't been open in more than a year. Most of my cars now are more low and slow than fast. I've got 1949, 1957, 1967, 1977. The Evans is 1991. So I've got old Volkswagens, an old Studebaker. I still have the Evans. Love driving it. When I do drive it, it's certainly fun. It's still fast. It's not as fast as cars today. Obviously, everything improves with time, but it's still pure. 1991, no computers, no airbags, no ABS, 900 kilos, mid-engine. You can't get that kind of feeling. It's like an old 911. I still have my 1977 Porsche 911. I don't have any new ones. The new ones are much faster, but there's something more visceral about a simpler car, even if it's slower. Sometimes ultimate speed is not the goal. Ultimate speed just gets you in trouble on the road. I don't want to get in trouble. I just love cars and the essence of cars, the smells, the sounds, the shapes, and not necessarily going a million miles an hour. And I always said about water sport, the sensation of speed, windsurfing or winging, you can go 25 knots on a wing foil, and it's like going 200K in a car. But it's much more accessible, much safer. You're not endangering other people doing it. Like fast cars belong on a racetrack. I learned long ago that it's pretty stupid to go try and drive fast on the street. I don't want to endanger other people. I don't want to be that idiot. So I go fast on the water now, and I leave my cars in the garage and play with them.
That's a good transition, Robby, because there is a special gift. Again, some other friends from Lorient. In France, there are two Porsche Center. And in a few minutes, just after the two last questions, there is one experience with a Porsche, with the brand new model and the Pro Team. It's here in Bretagne, in Lorient, there are two Porsche. There's one Porsche Centers in Lorient for the last 40 years and one in Brest for the last 5 years. And they are big fan, of course, of sailing and of Robby Naish. So that's going to be the present for the Wing Club special Robby Naish. That's another present.
Wow.
So another fan. So we have the two last. Jacques, if you have to go, I know the different presidents are really busy. Jacques, if you have to go, thank you so much. And again, all the best for all the surfers and the Fédération Française de Surf on the next event. And you've got a lot of things to do for the kids, for the social things, for the ladies, for the pro, for the stand-up paddle as well. So thanks so much, Jack, for joining with Robby Naish tonight.
Bye, Jack. See you on the water.
That was cool. Thanks, Jack. Same thing for you, Corinne. If you have to go, I know you've got a busy schedule for tomorrow. It's a late night in France. I hope you were happy to meet two of your fans, where you got posters in the bedroom.
Yeah. I had the poster of Robby and Patrice Martin in my bedroom when I was a teenager. So I was.
Which one was the favorite, Corinne? Which one was the favorite? Patrice is gone, so.
Well, Patrice is gone, so I will say Robby, of course. Thank you.
Too bad for Patrice. Thank you so much, Corinne. What a team. Whoa, so many guests and surprise. So we've got Bertrand, Fred, and Eric Florin. So you've got 3 questions. This is the last
Eric
5 minutes
Florin.
before. Yes, Eric Florin
He's
for
a real
Amiens. So
pirate.
first, Bertrand, he won a contest with our friends from Écossy. Oui, Bertrand. Hello.
Bonjour. Hello. So thank you to give me the opportunity to talk to the legend Robby. It's a real honor. I have my
Thank
questions.
you.
I'm a photographer, and I wanted you to tell me your relations with image. Because you've been on the light all your life, you've been doing absolutely amazing stuff. Been on the covers all the time. So just what is your relations on about your image, the photographers and the photography more generally?
That's a good one. Thanks, Bertrand.
Well, it's changed, over the last decade or so. You know, in the old days, you worked with photographers and you practice, you rode hard, and publicity would come from it if you did well, you know, if you deserved it. And today, with the internet and with social media, it's really changed for an athlete. I mean, for everybody, but especially for athletes, because there's a certain amount of self-promotion that's now a required element of being a pro, at least in our universe. And that's changed things. You know, in my day, humility, I think, was an asset. And I think you respected people that let their actions speak louder than their words. And the problem with social media, to a degree, is it promotes arrogance. It promotes self-centeredness. The loudest guy in the room often gets the most attention, regardless of talent. And so, being a pro, there's a balance now between talent, hard work, and being a self-promoter as well. And sponsors want you to be promoting yourself. They want to see how many Instagram posts you did and how many likes you got and how many views you got. And it changes the way you can view yourself. I don't think it's healthy. I try to navigate that path being part of it, but it's certainly not my focus because I really don't like it. I don't like the part of me that it brings out. I don't want, like, I have no notifications on my phone. If you send me a text, nothing happens. I'm not constantly checking my various 10 messaging platforms. And I think it's unhealthy to live life with that self-centeredness, even if you're paid to do it as an athlete. You know, I'm doing more and more self-promotion stuff. I'm doing more with YouTube. I think I like YouTube as a platform better than Instagram or Facebook because it's less connected, where like I want to connect with fans, with people. I love what I do and I want to share it, but I don't want to be like, look at me, 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 look at me. Because I fucking hate it. It's not part of my character. You know, I love being paid to do what I love to do, and I love sharing my passion, and I love inspiring other people to come and live this healthy lifestyle, to get on the water and, you know, to ride. Board riding is friggin' healthy. But the self-promotion part of it is like a double-edged sword. I'm uncomfortable with it as much as I need it and as much as it's part of, you know, who we are today with social media. So it's a necessary evil that I'm adjusting to, coming to terms with, trying to find a way that I can do it, be successful at it, but still feel good about myself. Because, yeah, I hate self-promotion. I don't want to be self-centered. I don't want to appear to be self-centered, but it's difficult to put yourself out there without that being part of the process, you know? So hopefully I'm navigating that path without getting a big head. I don't want to appear to be that guy that is self-absorbed. But yeah,
Thank you very much. It was a good question, Bertrand. Thanks so much, Robby. We are the same with Manu.
Yeah.
That's why we have only 12 followers on our YouTube channel. It's very limited. But no, the idea, Robby, of the Wing Club was live. We did not want to record anything or take pictures. We want to have something live and to make sure that these guys like Bertrand, like Sophie, like they can meet, you know, like you, Robby, or Boujma, or Sarah Others, and travel and go to Japan and to everywhere in the room. I've got two last questions. Fred Bruch is a windsurfer and father of a young, talented Jade Bruch. I'm sure he's screaming on her at the moment, Jade, come back. There's Robby who wants to talk to you. Can you hear us, Fred? You have to put the mic again up. So we are in Brittany now. Le micro, Fred.
Yes. Yes, of course, I'm here with you.
Hello, Fred. From Lorient. Are you with Jade, yeah?
Hello?
Yes,
on t'entend.
that's why we like live. Yeah. So you are on live now. You're talking with Robby. Are you on your own or is Jade with you?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm listening to you.
Okay. Do you have a question for Robby Naish?
Yes, I'm a fan. I'm a fan from Robby since the beginning. And I saw you the first time in 1981. I was sailing Optimist, and you were in La Plage for the French tour, and you were 18. And the year after, I beginning windsurfing, and
Cool.
now it's 40 years ago, and now I am with my daughter Jade. She is 17, and last year she was a sacred world champion under 17 in Cadix in Spain, and she's a new generation.
And where is she, Fred?
Very cool.
Yeah, she's too shy. She don't want to go. Jade Brush. Jade. Jade.
Just to say hello. Just to say hello to Robby.
I just love it.
Jade. She's very shy. She don't want to go.
That's cool.
Jade.
Okay. I know how people are impressed by Robby.
Shy is good. That's good.
Do you want to say a few words to Jade, who is big into windsurfing? Robby, I'm sure she can hear you. So.
No, just have fun. Have fun on the water. I'm impressed that you're too shy to come on the camera. That's a good thing.
Okay, but that's principle of being young. So that's good. And we've got Eric Florin. Eric Florin, are you still with us? Eric Florin is a surf shop from north of France. I'm not sure if Eric Florin is still there.
No.
Okay, so Eric Florin is gone. Jade, if you want to come back. Thank you so much, everybody. Peter, Francois, do you want to ask a question to Robby before we go on the quiz? Or Yves Leblevec, if you have a question, feel free to ask.
Yes.
I'm going to ask Bertrand and John and Fred and Sophie to leave the Zoom, in fact, because there's going to be a quiz. And if you're staying on the Zoom, it is cheating. Oh, Jade is there. Hey, Jade, salut!
Whoa.
Hello, bonsoir.
Hey, Jade, are you a big fan of Robby Naish? When you have been training so much, doing all these hours of fun, but racing and training in the water, like the name of Robby Naish for you is like a big model for you, yeah? Your mic is off. Le micro est coupé.
She's like, I don't know who that is.
Oh, she knows. She knows perfectly because his dad was with you at the indoor. Tu m'entends, Jade?
Yes, it's okay.
Who is your model? Is it your dad or is it Robby Naish in windsurfing?
Écoute. Oui, tu m'entends.
No mobile phone. No mobile phone for 1 month. Okay. Jade, you are the future of windsurfing. You know that. You are the world champ, and you've got plenty of talents. So I am super happy to have you, Robby and Jade, because you're a future legend, Jade. À très bientôt, Jade. That's cool. I was shy as well. So, Fred, bye-bye. François, Peter, do you want to ask any questions? And we go for a quick music and then the quiz. Yves Leblevec as well, if you have a final question. We have nearly 2 hours. We are on time.
Yes, I have a question. Which discipline has been growing fastest? Windsurfing, kite, windsurfing, or the other one, windfoiling? Which one has been the fastest growing sport?
I think without question, winging. Behind that was SUP, behind that was kiting, and behind that was windsurfing, because the speed at which things advance now with the internet, promotion is much, much faster. When you do something today, in 1 hour, you see it worldwide. 30 years ago, when you did something today, it was in the magazines in 3, 4, 5 months. There was a much bigger time delay. Also with the development of the sport, we have all of the history of the other sports that we're developing on top of. And so the process is much, much quicker now, both in terms of advancing the equipment. We're not starting from zero. We're starting from, for example, from windsurfing, we learned a lot to bring us to kiting. And from kiting, we learned a lot, and from windsurfing to bring us to windfoiling, to wingfoiling. So we're not starting with a completely blank piece of paper. Our paper is also already full of experience and information and knowledge and know-how about construction and materials and design. And so from a mechanic standpoint, from an equipment standpoint, the growth is really quick. We're not starting with a real piece of shit that we then have to turn into a little bit better piece of shit, and then slowly it becomes something good. We're starting with something good from the first day. And from that, we expand to something even better. And that makes the learning process easier because the equipment is good from day one, which helps you to learn faster. The boards are already light, the foils are already efficient, the wing is already well made. So for sure, wing foiling at the moment is growing faster, for example, than SUP, which grew faster than kiting, which grew faster than windsurfing. So things just progress very, very quickly these days.
Okay. Thank you very much, Peter, for that. Sophie, je vais te demander de te déconnecter parce qu'on va faire un quiz pour gagner une expérience chez Porsche en Bretagne. Pareil pour Fred. Bye bye Fred, bye bye Sophie. Yves Leblevec, si tu m'entends, toi tu as le droit de jouer, hein, Yves, évidemment. Bye bye Fred. Yeah, we can have that. So François, you want to say a few things as well? Sorry, Yves, you are with us. Une petite aussi conclusion, parce que là il y a plein de surprises, il y a plein de cadeaux. Ça te donne envie de faire du wingfoil? You want to do wingfoil now? You want to meet Robby Naish and you want to beat these 15 minutes introductions of Nicolas Hénard?
Is Yves windsurfing already? Est-ce que Yves, tu fais du windsurf déjà ou pas?
Not yet.
I thought it was a wing club.
Mute. Attends, je t'ai compris. Attends, il y a le. T'es en muet. Hop. You are mute, Yves. C'est bon maintenant, vas-y.
C'est bon là, c'est mieux.
Martin?
Moi j'ai dû faire du four-wing, du windsurfer. Moi j'avais une P18.
A P18? What is a P18? I have no idea what is a P18.
It's like a windsurfer. It's the same shape, and it's a windsurfer with 80 kilograms. Very light.
80 kilograms. That's the weight of your boat now. For 12 people. Okay, but hey, are you excited to start as well wingfoiling, Yves Leblevec? Really, if tomorrow you're saying, Chris, let's go, we go. Huh?
Désolé.
Christophe, the next time we do a live, we need to translate. We need to have a translation and subtitles. Okay, thank you very much, Yves. If I may, so I do have to apologize for Robby and all the people who've been watching tonight, because there have been so many questions, and thanks everyone for watching. And we like, there have been so many questions. We couldn't answer 10% of what happened. If I have one recently, I say ask Robby because I know he's one of these kind of like legendary local rider here in Ireland. But like, ask Robby about how bold he was to kite crash and drop in on a heap of windsurf comp, starting with Kerry in Brandon Bay.
So ask the question again.
So ask Robby about, or maybe the question, like I only read the questions there, and I'm starting to look more like Cure than a pirate. I don't know why. That must be the Captain Morgan. But ask Robby about how bold he was to kite crash and drop in on a heap of windsurf comp, starting with Kerry, the competition in Brandon Bay in Ireland.
I don't really understand.
Did you crash some windsurfing competition? Did you come from nowhere with your kite surf back in the days?
No. The only time I ever rode in Ireland was windsurfing. I never kited there. We had a windsurf competition there ages ago. But
okay, so then
I've never kited.
I do apologize.
We had
I do apologize.
It was really
maybe your fan club.
Waves.
Yes. How many times have you been in Ireland?
Twice. I went there for the Windsurf World Cup in Brandon Bay, which was awesome. It was really killer waves, windy, cold, rainy. Like, it was great experience.
Rainy.
And then I was there for a Red Bull Illume in Dublin, just a promotional thing once. But on the water, yeah, only that one time windsurfing. And I need to go back.
Very good.
But I've never.
Yeah, there's a competition called Battle for the Bay. I've heard about.
Yes, you are welcome anytime. And it was very unlucky that it was rainy that day, because it's only a myth. It never rained. And no, never rained. We only learned that things from Hawaii. No rain, no rainbow. It's only from Hawaii, because we only have rainbow but no rain. No, just another quick question for you, Robby.
Francois, we don't have time. Francois, we don't have time. It's too long now.
Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry. Okay, no more questions. Thank you. Go on.
The kids are very scary now with the guy in the caravan. Manu, is scary, Francois?
It's scary. It's my pirate thing. It's pirate.
We will never eat 20 followers on YouTube, Manu, because of Francois.
No, it's not the same boat.
Hey, here is the question. It's on Facebook now, and this is for the Porsche experience. Manu, can we have the logo of our friends? Porsche in Lorient. So it's a very good.
Like that.
With the,
it becomes so corporate, this show. So corporate.
Yeah. And there is, the brand new Porsche Taycan. You know this one, Robby, the Taycan?
I've never seen one in person, but of course I know of it. So I'm still a car guy. But, a car guy.
Look, there's somebody joining. Hello, Eric Florin. How are you?
Thank you. I'm impressed by Robby Naish in person, like in front of me.
Eric, I introduce yourself. You are one of the most important surf shop in Amiens. This is in north of France, and this is 70 kilometers from the sea. And you went big for the community, for windsurfing with your mother, with then after kite surfing, and again the spot was 70 kilometers from the surf shop. Incredible.
Wow.
Il n'a rien compris.
Non.
Ouais.
Tu peux répéter, j'ai pas compris.
Je dis, Eric, le spot, il était à 70 km. 70 km de la mer. Et on vendait des planches à voile. On parlait de Robby Naish. On parlait de Wind Magazine, de Robert Territeo, de Thiémé, de Dunkerbeck. À 70 km de la mer.
Resale board to François Christophe.
Yes.
And now I make kite surfing and kite foil too. I'm very impressed by the new wing foil. I would like to try it this summer, I think, with my son, who is to Vancouver in Canada.
Yes.
Yes.
Cool.
Robby, yeah, if I may say, this guy there, Eric Florin, is the guy who gave us the virus of windsurfing 30 years ago or 20 years ago, and so that was a big up, and he got us into the world of windsurfing in your world. So that's a big loop, yeah. So yeah.
Thank you very
Hello,
much,
Eric.
Eric.
Thank you, Eric.
It's good to see you. Okay, so let's play. So now this is happening on the social network. I'm going to ask a question. The first one to give the answers will go for the experience with Porsche. And once again, there was a call this morning from the guys. The question is very easy. Okay, can we have somebody here in the team to look after the social network Facebook to see who's going to go for the first answer. And then after, we're going to go for your conclusions, Robby Naish. Thanks again. And then we go for a bit of live music because we don't have any live music in France anymore. So the only place where the club is open with live music and some real rock star, this is Lorient, this is La Coloc, and this is Romeo. And this is happening as long as the people are listening for us. So the question is, Robby? You cannot play, Robby.
Oh, okay.
Which is...
What can we win? What can we win?
So we win an experience here. Manu, what are we winning? An experience with Porsche?
With a Porsche car, yeah.
Yes, but it's not only to drive a prestigious car. It's to meet as well the Porsche team riders, the Écurie, the one from Lorient, who is celebrating the 40 years of Lorient's place. So the question is,
hey Christophe, and if you live in Ireland with the lockdown, how do you come to Lorient?
Yeah. With your face, you're not going to drive a Porsche, my brother.
It's not possible for you.
So the
if
question
you live
is,
in Hawaii, how do you win? Okay, sorry.
Did you ask Robby Naish if you live in Hawaii?
Okay.
What is the number? What is the magic number? The real magic number if you add every single numbers of the sailing number of Robby Naish. What do you get if you have every single numbers, you add them and there is one number?
We call it a
Bertrand
figure
Caron,
in English.
It's not US 1111, no.
No. Yeah, they went too fast. Too fast, guys.
Four. We've got
Island.
Jason
winning.
Murphy and Cyril Doré. So,
Jason
Jason Murphy, if you are coming in France, you'll be invited. Otherwise, it is a guy called Cyril Doré. Okay, thank you very much. Robby, thanks again. I hope you were not shocked by your pirate style. There is some good friends, all passionated by yourself in the photography, in the camera, with Thomas, with Vincent, we cannot see them, with Renan, with Christophe, the bands, Manu as well. You're into kite surfing,
Thank
but
you,
a big fan. So thanks. I hope you enjoy these 2 hours. What can we wish for the next, next good moments for you, Robby?
Well, we'll see. It was a pleasure to be here with you guys. I appreciate you reaching out to talk with me. Hopefully we'll everywhere in the world get back to some kind of normal soon so we can start traveling and living our lives without all this bullshit and government intervention into our daily lives, which I hate. I would love to be able to travel again. I'm again really lucky to be on Maui during lockdown. We've been very, very lucky here. It's almost no different than normal, but I know most people around the world have had it really bad. And I'm sure as soon as winter is gone and spring is warming up, people want to be able to get to the water, and hopefully they can get out and enjoy life again. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you around the world soon.
I hope to. On the beach, or Manuel in the indoor in Paris that we love, or in the Nautic Boat Show, or in the Défi. Big up to all the friends in the Défi or in Lator. So many good moments now to catch back. There was one rule, Robby Naish, that I did not apply tonight. Normally in the Wing Club there is no marketing. You cannot say the name of the brand. With yourself, I made one thing very special. So. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Robby, I have invited now everybody to join on the Zoom. I put on the Facebook the Zoom. So I'm going to crash the Zoom probably, but we're going to have the music going on. So everybody who wants to join now on the Zoom, I'm going to accept everybody. And bye-bye for all the people, who are fans like us of Robby.
Bye-bye.
Aloha.
Thank you very much, Robby.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Thank you.
Aloha, Manu.
Aloha.
This is now the gig.
Fantastic.
Music.
Incredible.
Let's play live. This is for you now from Ireland. It's called Dirty Old Towns. Merci beaucoup, Robby.
My love by the Westworks walls, dream the dream by the old canal. I kissed my girl by the factory walls, dirty old town, dirty old town. Clouds are drifting across the pool. Clouds are rolling on the beach. Springs a girl from a Smithsonian night. A dirty old town, dirty old town. Heard a sigh right from the box. So it's red, set the night on fire. I smell the spring of the smoky wind. A dirty old town, dirty old town. I'm going to make many shot blocks, shining stairs of parade on fire. I'll shut you down like an old street. A dirty old town, dirty old town. Dirty old town, dirty old town. I met my love by the gasworks walls. Dream the dream dirty old town, dirty old town, my dirty old town, dirty old town.
Allez, vas-y, balance le DB. One more time.
On va finir celle de tout à l'heure.
Et que ta copine, your girlfriend should shave. Come on, come on.
Bon, allez, on va finir avec Lorient.
Allez,
on l'avait commencé tout à l'heure. Allez.
Putain, mets ton masque, mets ton masque.
Bon. C'est la chanson des gars de Lorient qui est pro. Celle qui nous fait chanter, danser une l'assemblée. Viens faire un tour sur le carreau avec un dos. Je t'emmène faire une bonne balade le long de la rade. Je t'emmène faire une bonne balade le long de la rade. J'ai rencontré ma Pompadour, Pandoradour. On me disait qu'elle avait pour tout à Chiriado. Je l'ai présenté à mes coteries, de leur patrie. Et ils me l'ont piqué dans mon alcool sur le cours de la Baule. Ils me l'ont piqué dans mon alcool sur le cours de la Baule. Il y en a qui disent qu'il y a des dames sur le quai des Alpes. D'autres qui prétendent qu'elles sont bossues par chevassu. Paraîtrait même qu'elles ont des tics au Pacifique. C'est sûr que nous on préfère celle du cours Chazelle. C'est sûr que nous on préfère celle du cours Chazelle. C'est la chanson des gars de Lorient qui est pro. Celle qui nous fait chanter dans ces rues de l'Assemblée. Viens faire un tour sur le canot de la rue Carnot. Je t'emmène faire une bonne balade le long de la rade. Je t'emmène faire une bonne balade le long de la rade. Il faut pas dire qu'ils foutent que dalle à l'Arsenal. C'est vrai qu'ils ont foutu le bordel porte Gabriel. J'en ai vu un complètement rond sur le pont Guédon. Et qui est reparti prendre rue Guinness, rue Paul Miès. Et qui est reparti prendre rue Guinness, rue Paul Miès. C'est la chanson des gars de Lorient qui est pro. Celle qui nous fait chanter dans ces rues de l'Assemblée. Viens faire un tour sur le canot de la rue Carnot. Je t'emmène faire une bonne balade le long de la rade. Je t'emmène faire une bonne balade le long de la rade. Il y a des marins qui boivent la bière rue de la Perrière. Et il y en a d'autres qui cherchent des noises à rue de Carroise. Ils se ramènent pour boire du vin rue de Verdun. Et on les retrouve à boire de l'eau à Bodélio. Et on les retrouve à boire de l'eau à Bodélio. C'est la chanson des gars de Lorient qui est pro. Celle qui nous fait chanter danser l'Assemblée. Viens faire un tour sur le canot de la rue Carnot. Je t'emmène faire une bonne balade le long de la rade. Je t'emmène faire une bonne balade le long de la rade. Et on monte. C'est la chanson des gars de Lorient qui est pro. Celle qui nous fait chanter dans ces rues de l'Assemblée. Viens faire un tour sur le canot de la rue Carnot. Je t'emmène faire une bonne balade le long de la rade. Je t'emmène faire une bonne balade le long de la rade.
Vas-y, encore.
Alors, encore une dernière.
Ah, vas-y, encore une. Vas-y, fais pas le radin. One more time.
Alors si, non, il y en a une.
One more time. Du Daft Punk.
Non, mais là,
Non, something from Sweden.
Je pense qu'on est obligé d'en faire.
Something from Sweden. Ah bah qui?
Non, Robby is gone, yeah?
Non, mais ça c'était dans le temps. Non, on va faire une chanson de l'île de Groix, qui est un duo entre
mais
une
non.
femme.
Mais non, arrête avec ta Bretagne. Arrête avec ta Bretagne.
Chanson d'amour, juste pour ça.
Love song. The last one for the Wing Club special Robby Naish. Thank you Romeo. Thank you all the team here in la coloc.
J'ai fait l'amour, oui. Dans
T'as fait la guerre.
joli quartier, oui, mais de cela, je n'ai pas su profiter.
Tu m'étonnes.
J'ai fait l'amour, mais j'ai perdu mes pas pour une belle, moi, qui ne m'aimait pas. Bonjour, bonjour la belle, que le bonheur
Allez,
soit
chauffe.
chez vous, je vous laisse.
Chauffe, Marcel.
Qui sera votre époux? Je voudrais savoir qui aura Jean-Marie Tantôt. Retire-toi, Calique, retourne notre chariot. Si j'aurais su la belle, je ne t'aurais pas aimé, tant d'argent je n'aurais pas dépensé. Je n'aurais pas dépensé tant d'argent au cabaret avec tous tes parents. Si tu l'as dépensé, c'est que tu l'as bien voulu. Combien de fois je te l'ai défendu? Oui, combien de fois je te l'ai dit souvent. Galine, tu perds tes piles, galant, tu perds ton temps. Si j'ai perdu mes peines, j'ai bien passé mon temps. Oui, j'ai passé d'agréables moments. Oui, j'ai passé des agréables nuits. Belle Désiraille, oui c'est moi, sur le bord de ton lit. Désiraille d'où on dirait le phare de Groix, c'est ça. Ton père, ta mère, la belle, sont des avaricieux qui font partie l'amour de tes yeux. Le verre en main pour noyer mon chagrin, les larmes aux yeux, c'est pour te dire adieu.
Bravo.
Merci. This was
Très bien.
Hello, bye bye. I'm Chris. I am a wing foiler.
Hello, bye bye. I'm Manu. I'm not a wing foiler, but not yet.
No.
Not yet. Not in the winter.
Ah, it's the winter.
Ah, bah non. Ah oui.
Bye bye.
Eh,
Roméo,
c'était
bye
bien
bye.
quand même.
Thomas, Christophe, bye
Bye
bye.
bye.
Yes.
C'était bien quand même. C'était very good, hein. It was very good.
Yes,
was
but
very
now
good.
we have
Peter,
to finish. We will meet again.
Very, very good.
Oh là là.
Excellent.
No,
Peter, thank you
it's
so
a
much.
little after show. It was magic. It was the king, and then we had like a live show, and we had such a big production tonight.
And
like,
we're still in
if
live,
I had to
Francois.
give the feedback. Yeah, I know. We are live like.
But we have to go. Like
still
I
think
mean,
it's
like
very good.
we have our jobs and everything to do tomorrow.
I don't have a job. No, I have nothing to do for the next 6 months.
Bye bye, Peter. Francois, you do the conclusion. A quick one phrase.
Ah ben non, tout le monde est parti. One phrase. Life is pure magic. Thank you. Go
Life is pure
and have
magic.
some
Ciao,
fun
bye
on the
bye. Thank you,
water.
Robbie. Thank you, everybody on the Zoom.
Well, Robbie was
Ciao,
here.
Peter. We
Bye-bye.
talk
Robbie's
again.
good.
Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much,
Robbie.
guys.
Vincent.
Take care. God
Bye
bless.
bye.
Thank you, Peter. Thanks everyone for watching
Super.
and for buying at Pure Magic. Is that it?
Death.
That's it?
Thank you.